Yes, it's visible.
Yes,
Okay,
sir, we are able to
thank
see.
you. So first of all, I welcome you all to the demo session for the Microsoft Fabric. So everyone, today's session is going to be the introduction class for the Fabric course. So we are total going to provide 3 free classes, and in that today's class is going to be the first free class, and this session will be followed by the second free class tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow will be the third free class. You can start the continuity of the batch from tomorrow itself. So this first free class is having the complete aim to provide the student a knowledge about what is this Fabric, what exactly we are going to do in this Microsoft Fabric. So these details are really helpful for the students to understand this course. So this particular session I'm going to take for the next 1 hour of your time, and in this 1 hour I will be going to explain about the complete details. So if you have any questions during the session, you can please post your questions in the end. I will give you the time. We can discuss about your questions, anything that you have. Okay. So I would be going to take close to 1 hour of your time to do this. I would like to introduce about myself first, and then we can go forward to the things. So myself, Harish. Let me write my name. So myself, Harish, and I have 9+ years of teaching experience and working experience in the technologies related to the data engineering and data analysis. And currently, I'm working with the roles of data engineering as well as data analysis, both in my MNC companies, first of all, and in the technical skills of using Databricks, PySpark, Python, SQL, Tableau, as well as Power BI in the ETL roles as well in the current projects. And I have good experience on the domains related to the projects of banking sector, financial sector, healthcare, and also in the telecommunication domains. So here over the past 9+ years, I am also into the teaching field of covering the technologies of data engineering and data analysis across the vast domains of the students coming here to learn. So the students, when they're going to come to learn these particular technical skills, the most important thing we need to know is the real-time scenarios, how to work on that, how to say the answers in the interviews. That is the most priority. Because whenever a student attends any interview, the tested part is the real-time knowledge, whether that person is having or not. So to gain that knowledge, our course is going to help you up to a 3 to 4 years of experienced person knowledge, how it will be in the data engineering and data analysis. The similar way, your knowledge also will be improved by the end of this course. So here for this particular explanation purpose, we are using the technology of Microsoft Fabric. So Fabric is a Microsoft product. In that, we are going to do our data engineering and data analysis things. So it is a cloud-based thing. Okay. So before I explain those things, I will also make you understand the eligibility criteria also, which type of students can learn this Fabric. See guys, the Fabric is mostly suitable here for the people who have some experience or having some career gap. For the freshers, I will not say it is not suitable, but less opportunities you might find in the Fabric because it's a data engineering involved. Data engineering is generally for the experienced people. If suppose anybody here are interested to learn as a fresher, I'm not going to stop, but opportunities wise, the data analysis is the best for the freshers. If anybody here are freshers, we have also separately alone data analysis course. So that is more suitable for you people. And if anybody here are experienced persons and having any career gap, for all of you, it would be definitely suitable. So I can say it is suitable for the people who are already working persons, already working. And if you have any career gap, and for the freshers also, it would be suitable. I'm writing in the last, but as I mentioned again, if anybody here are freshers, my suggestion for you is to join in data analysis, where I am only going to handle that batches as well in the morning time. But if you are interested to learn data engineering also in the end-to-end complete way, that is still a good scenarios to learn. Okay, so this is about the eligibility criteria. And one more thing is that regarding the knowledge, before I join in this course, do we need to have any prior knowledge? So I'm not expecting any prior knowledge to have for any student to learn, because we are anyhow going to start everything from the scratch. The data engineering and data analysis, both we will be going to handle from the basics onwards. If you don't even have any prior knowledge, that is absolutely fine. So anyhow, we are going to explain you about the simple cloud related concepts as well. So that can be helpful. So no prior knowledge is needed. It's completely from the basic onwards. We are going to start this course. So that point also I will mention. No prior knowledge is required. Is required to learn this course. So what exactly is this Microsoft Fabric? Let us understand about this Fabric. Data engineering is not a like a new technology present as of now in the market. It is from the so many years onwards it is there. Even simply data analysis also, it is not anything newly created in just 2 to 3 years back. It is there from the last few years. I mean to say last 2 decades also you can consider. But now whatever the Fabric is I'm discussing about, this is the latest technology. You can say it is I think end of 2023 or 2024 early, this technology was introduced by Microsoft. It's a unified platform where you can perform your data engineering tasks and data analysis tasks as well. You no need to go separately somewhere other platforms for data engineering, some other platforms for data analysis. It's not needed. Fabric is the single one-stop solution to perform both data engineering and data analysis tasks. That is how the Microsoft has built its tool. So I would be going to provide you a lot of details in this. First of all, I will write what is this Fabric? What is this Fabric? So I will write a simple definition. I'll explain you about that also. So Fabric is this word is important, unified, okay? Unified SaaS platform, which is offered by Microsoft for the development of for the development of end-to-end end-to-end cloud native data platforms. Okay, cloud native data platforms. So which cloud are you going to use? It's a Microsoft Azure, but we don't use any separate word like Azure in the Fabric, because Fabric itself like acting like a separate entity in the Microsoft cloud related things. So I'll explain this one. What is the reason for few of the terms here I have written? You need to understand it. So please concentrate, guys. This needs some good concentration because little depth will be there in these topics. Okay. So see, first thing I would like to start with, what is SaaS? SaaS stands for software as a solution. Okay. Software as a solution. We have some of the other techniques like platform as a service, or not a solution, you can consider service. Okay. So we have AWS, infrastructure as a service, and we have software as a service. So these three things are there in the cloud related things. So we are talking about this software as a service. Meaning of this software as a service is you no need to maintain anything. You no need to maintain any infrastructure. You no need to maintain any platform. Everything Fabric will provide you. You just need to enter into that and utilize whatever it is having. If you don't have a software as a service, you need to maintain the infrastructure, means the servers and the complete security for that, everything you need to maintain. But here the platform also you don't need to do anything. It is having the complete setup. You just go and use it whatever you want. That is what software as a service. So that's a software as a service. And it's a unified is what one more word I have written. What is meant by unified? Everything in one single place, that is unified. What are those everything? You mentioned some time back also that it is having everything in one single place. It's a one stop solution. For what it is having everything in the sense data engineering. I'll go much more deep, but as of now you can understand data engineering and data analysis, both you can do it in one single place. That is the reason for this word unified I have used. Both data engineering and data analysis can be done in one single place. You don't need to go multiple places. That is the reason for unified. You so many times I'll use this word unified, because that's the best advantage you have. Remaining, no other technologies is providing both these capabilities in one single place. So that's the reason. Okay. So and this is offered by Microsoft. As I already written, it's a Microsoft Fabric, means it's a Microsoft related program. Okay. And it is used for the development of what? End to end. Again, I'm using end to end. Why? What is this end to end? Previously, without Fabric, somewhere data will be there. Okay. And somebody will pull this data by using some ETL: extract, transform, load. You'll extract the data, that is bringing the data, and then you'll transform the data, and you will load that data to another database or data warehouse. And from there, the data analyst will come and use this particular data to perform the analysis. So separately, we used to have it previously. ETL will be separately performed, database will be separately present, and this will be separately present. Completely starting onwards until end in one single place, it is not there. Just like unified, I'm using this end to end, in the sense everything from beginning to end, everything can be done in one single place. That is what end to end. And cloud native data platforms is this particular technology what you're using. It's a cloud related. Cloud in the sense it's everything, the data and everything, it will be there in the servers. Those servers, everything you no need to maintain. The Microsoft will maintain those data centers, and that is what we can say cloud native, in the sense with respect to the cloud, these data platforms will be maintained. This is a complete definition, guys. You can just read it one more time for the better understanding. It's a unified SaaS platform which is offered by Microsoft for the development of complete end-to-end cloud native data platforms. That is what is a Fabric meant by. Okay, I will write here the SaaS, software as a service, because it's a new word. Mentioned solution, it's not solution, it's a service. Okay, software as a service. Fine. So what is this data engineering? First of all, I will explain about that, because some of you might have a doubt, sir, what is the difference between data engineering and data analysis? Okay, or what is the difference between data engineer and a data analyst? Anything. Okay, data engineering and data analysis. So the roles and the responsibilities are different for these two people, data engineer and a data analyst. What are those roles and responsibilities? So as I mentioned, somewhere your data is present. Somewhere in the sense it can be in the databases of the client, or they are storing in some SAP systems, or they might be stored in some Oracles, whatever it is, somewhere the client data is present. They are saying that, see, this is our data. You want us to provide some good decision making insights from this. So first of all, what we will do is, or let me write it on a representation manner. So, okay, somewhere my data is present. The client is saying that this is client. Okay, this is the client person. So the way data is present, this person wants us to analyze this data or provide some solutions by using this data. So what you need to do, you need to bring this data. Who will do that? This data engineer will do this ETL work. Again, I'm using the term ETL. So many places you will get, because you are a data engineer now learning this data engineering technologies. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. Separate level, right? So you will perform this ETL and you will load this data into one single place. Just now I explained that, right? Same thing I'm writing. So let me write here. This is your data warehouse or else database. And from this data, we'll perform the analysis. And based on that analysis, you can even do some types of machine learning models on this. That is nothing but forecasting. After analysis also you can do this. That is machine learning this is involved with. And those results will be used by the, again, the same client. Okay, consider this a client. So in between, lot of steps will be there. I'm not writing everything. I wanted you to understand what is data engineering, what is data analysis. So until here, whatever the source data is there, you need to bring it to one single place. Even this data might be scattered here, different places. In 3 different places the data might be present. You need to perform ETL and bring it in one single place. So this work is the data engineering. And later you're going to do this analysis, right? This work will be performed by the data analyst. And who is going to work on the machine learning? We call it as data scientist. So you might have got one thing now. Even you want to do analysis or you want to build some machine learning model, you need some data. Who is going to bring the data? This person is responsible for doing that work. That is the most important role in the company's data engineering. That data engineer is the person who will bring the data That data will be used by the data analyst to perform the analysis and data scientist also to perform machine learning models and everything. Without data engineering, both of these persons will not exist. Because who will bring the data for you if you want to do analysis? So that is the reason it is important. So now I mentioned these three things. Even I will write, even if you want data scientist also you can write, or data science, because I mentioned engineering, analysis, or data science. So these three things, these three are separate. Engineering is separate, analyst is separate, data science is separate. These three things are kept in one single place. Again, I'm using unified because that's the best thing you have in the fabric. Everything you can perform in this one single place. Data science also, data engineering also, data analysis also. But in our course, we don't cover data science, but still there is a chance you can still perform data science in the fabric. In the fabric, what are you going to learn means data engineering plus data analysis. Okay, so I think you got some idea what is data engineer. I mean to say, who is data engineer, who is data analyst, what are their roles and responsibilities. Simply, you can say who is a person can become a data engineer. The person should perform ETL. Let me write here now because so many times I'm using this term. So ETL in the sense extract, transform, and load. Okay, so the person should also need some big data knowledge. Means big data knowledge in the sense handling very huge amounts of data, petabytes or GBs of high data will be coming. So big data knowledge, and this person also need to perform some basic transformations. So not basic, I can say data transformations you can consider. To perform these data transformations, you need some programming knowledge. You can't skip from Python. If you are in the data domain, whether you are a data analyst or a data engineer or a data scientist, Python is needed. So programming knowledge is needed here. But again, I'm going to say, when I say Python, you no need to fear. It is not like a full stack Python course where you need to write hundreds or thousands of lines of program. This is very simple type of programming only. You no need to worry about that. But Python is needed. Without Python, you can't enter into any data domains. That is how it is happening. Previously, people used to just learn only Power BI and used to go into the roles. At that time, Python is not needed. But now, alone Power BI skill set also, people are not just taking into the roles. They need definitely the Python also. Okay, so that is the reality. Okay, so please keep that in mind. So data transformations, even data transformations can be done using programmatically. Without using programmatically also we can do. That is possible in the fabric. I'll tell you about that. So let us come to data analyst. Who is the person? Data analyst is a person who will do analysis upon this data. Whatever the data engineer comes, this person will be doing the analysis. So analyze the data using different tools again. Different tools in the sense different skills I'll read rather than different tools. I can say SQL, Python, Power BI. Okay, those are the core skills of this person. Even the same SQL, the same Python is needed for this data engineer also. Power BI is not needed for data engineer. For that data engineer, you need the same SQL, but not as depth as your data analyst needed, but SQL is needed, Python is needed, and other technologies what you're going to see now will be needed in the fabric. So this is the difference between data engineer and a data scientist. I mean to say data analyst. These two things are what you are going to club and learn in the fabric. Okay, I hope you got some good understanding. So why are you using the fabric? What is advantage? When you have already some technologies existing, you can see Azure data engineering is there already. That person is working on a data engineering in the Azure. Then why you again want me to learn fabric? Right? That can be one question you might have. Also, there is a AWS. AWS data engineering is there. They separately have a lot of tools. And you have a GCP also, Google Cloud Platform. But why you want me to use the fabric only? So let us see those advantages of fabric. First, the first thing is again, I'll use the same word, unified. Unified is very, very important because it's a best advantage for that. So it's a, instead of writing, let's say unified, I will use one more word this time, fewer tools. Before fabric, you need to use, for example, let us talk about the Azure data engineering itself. Okay, I'm talking about what? Azure data engineering. because both of these are Microsoft only, so you will have some good understanding comparison also. Previously for the Azure data engineering, for the storage purpose, for what? Storage. You need to use the Azure Data Lake, ADLS, Azure Data Lake Storage. Gen 2 is what we call. Or else we used to have Azure Blob Storage, Azure Cosmos DB. Some things are there, but for the structured ADLS, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 is the most famous. And again, you'll be going to use some SQL. And again, we have a Synapse. Synapse is for your data warehouse. And again, separately, this person of data engineering needs to work on the Azure Data Factory, which is for the ETL operations. They'll bring the data, they'll store it in this ADLS, and this ETL is what we call here extract, transform, and load. What is ADF? Azure Data Factory. Separately, we used to launch Azure Data Factory, or else people will use Databricks separately, Azure Databricks. So like different tools are there previously, like this. For storage separately, Synapse separate, ADF is separate, Databricks is separate. And some people nowadays in the market, we also have some orchestration tools like Airflow. And for the real-time streaming, again, you need to use separate. Like these different tools are not needed anymore in the Fabric. You don't need to go for those many. Everything you want, it is there. Because the entire storage is now in the Lakehouse, or not Lakehouse. Don't write Lakehouse now. It will be called as OneLake. Earlier, in the Azure Data Engineering, I mentioned along with this ADLS Gen 2, you have blob storage, you have the Cosmos DB. Why these many things are coming means because of structured data, unstructured data. This will land on different places. But here it's not needed. Everything in one single place. You no need separate storage systems like this. One single place. That is what OneLake. It reduced to very less. Instead of having 4 to 5 different storage systems, you no need to go anywhere, just one single place. That is what OneLake. This is the complete storage system of Fabric has built upon. This is very important points. In the interviews also, they might ask you, what is OneLake? OneLake is the complete storage system of the Fabric, where I can store structured data, unstructured data, or semi-structured data. Whatever you want, I can store in the OneLake. Inside OneLake, you might have Lakehouse and data warehouse. That is separate. Here I mentioned Synapse, right? Data warehouse. That also inside OneLake only you have. You don't need to go separately for Synapse or something. You have inside only Lakehouse, inside only warehouse to store your analytical data. And in this only you have the ADF. You don't need to go separately. ADF is also included in this. And Databricks also you don't need to go separately launch it, because in this only you have the Fabric notebooks. Fabric notebooks. Airflow also you don't need. Here only you can do the scheduling. And one more important thing is the CI/CD. What is meant by this? You know about the DevOps. You might have heard about in the market. We have DevOps, Azure DevOps, AWS DevOps. Like DevOps will be there. What is DevOps will do? Maintaining the continuous integration and deployments. That is what CI/CD. Continuous integration, continuous deployment. Any changes when you're going to write a program, you'll be going to deploy it to other regions like production, your development and testing. So we'll develop first. We'll do the UAT testing, and we'll take it to the production. Suppose the flow will be like, suppose a person who is going to do the development, and next we take it is to QA, okay, and next it will be taken to the production. So these are 3 different environments. A person will write a program here. This will be tested here. After testing is everything is fine, then I will move to the production. If there is something wrong, again I will come back. So in this way, this will be handled by the DevOps persons earlier. Separate people are needed. But this also you don't need to go separately anywhere. This also kept in the same Fabric only. You don't need to go anywhere. That too, you no need any more DevOps also. That's the reason nowadays in the market now, if you see, separately people are not hiring any DevOps persons, any Azure, any DevOps, any cloud DevOps separately hiring is less, because they're expecting this skill set in the same data engineer or a data analyst or whoever is doing Java development or Python development. That person should know this CI/CD also. That is how the technologies are evolving. But you no need to worry about it, because Fabric has covered that for you. The CI/CD is also there in the Fabric only. That's the reason I mentioned it's a fewer tools, unified. That is the power of the Fabric. Okay, so I'm removing everything. I guess you understood what are the advantages of this. Okay, so just I would like to move forward to the next thing. Lower maintenance. You no need to maintain much. Everything it will take care. That is lower maintenance of the entire systems. Okay. Next thing is about the less data movement. What is this? This is another important point. These are all very important in the interviews. They will ask you what are the reasons Fabric is more powerful, and why do you think Fabric can be the game changer in the terms of data domains? Because of these reasons. What is this less data movement? I will tell you. See, this might be sometimes. Again, I'm saying, guys, don't worry if you are not getting it 100 percentage, because the reason is I'm directly using the technical things in the first class only, because it will take some time for people who doesn't have any knowledge about these things. It might be somewhat, let me say, difficult. You might feel why the lot of terms are coming. I don't know about all these things. How come I will understand this? Don't worry, you will get to know everything one by one. I am using the terms directly now, but again, when the main classes are going to start from tomorrow, I will explain and define each and everything. What is OneLake, what is data factory, what is Databricks, everything I will cover one by one. You no need to worry about it. Okay, don't feel any like uncontent or depressed by using these words. Okay, I am just giving you overall idea. Just grasp it how much you can. If you are unable to grasp these things, one thing I will tell you, there is some data. This might bore you because the concept is simple to understand if I write in this way. You will perform ETL, you will bring the data, you will analyze the data. If you don't understand all those things, just get this one. That is also sufficient, because this is the entire work a data engineer and data analyst is doing in a Fabric. Somewhere data will be there. You'll perform the ETL activities. You will bring the data into data warehouse by doing some transformations. That data persons will use to analyze. This analysis will be done by Power BI in our Fabric. Okay, so again, you will get the understanding. This is important. You keep this in your mind. Even in the dream also, you should remember this flow, the complete architectural flow of the Fabric. Okay, so now again, I will use some more technical things. What is this less data movement? Again, comparing the things. Previously, what I told, in the Azure data engineering, there is some ADLS, Azure Data Lake, or else we have some blob, or else you have some Cosmos DB. Don't worry if you don't know about these things. I'm just using for comparison. Separately, data would be there in these places. I need to maintain a Synapse. Means I need to bring the data from these places into Synapse. Separate cost. You need to pay money to store the data here, because Microsoft won't give you these things for free. They will charge you how much of data you are storing in this. Suppose I have some simple, I will start. You have 100 rows of data. Very, very simple. Okay. 100 rows of data is there. Only one file you have. In that one single file, you have 100 rows of data. You will first of all bring that data into this ADLS. In the ADLS, you have 100 rows of data. Okay. Let's say you performed some transformations and these reduced to some 80 rows. Those 80 rows are storing again in the Synapse. If you observe, these 80 rows are already here, right? Among these 100 only, you reduced some 20, again you stored. Means 80 rows are getting duplicating stored. Here also you're storing, here also you're storing. So multiple places you need to store. So data also will be moving from platform to platform. Your cost will increase. You need to pay for every row there. How much you are using, you need to pay to Microsoft. So storage costs are very heavy because of that. But now, don't worry. You have just one single place your data will be sitting. That is OneLake. If you have 100 rows, that's it. You only pay for these 100 rows. Here, you are not doing this. You need to pay for these 100 rows. You need to pay for this 80 rows. You're paying for 180 rows. If you store for just two times, I'm saying, if you move this data to another place, again, for that also you need to pay extra amount. But now, no, don't need. You have 100 rows means you only pay for 100 rows. You want to move this data to some other place, you move it, but cost will not increase. And it will not store in separate location, because OneLake is one place, that is one storage system, less data movement. Okay, these are all important interview questions. Actually, I'm covering a lot in the first class itself as a free class. But don't worry, I hope you people will learn better and join the course, because I'm revealing everything for you here only. Okay, so next thing or next advantage I can say is fast reporting purpose. Because why, why I am using fast reporting? Again, compare. Previously, you might feel bored when you are in the Azure data engineering, when your data is there in the Synapse or some warehouse. you have a separate Power BI. This is for reporting purpose, dashboards building. Separately have a Power BI. You need to bring the data from Synapse into Power BI. You create some semantic models. You create some dashboards, and you will be publishing that to somewhere Power BI service. This is your Power BI desktop. If you assume you will, this is used for preparing the reports. These reports, what you prepared, will be stored in the Power BI service. So how many places your data is moving from here to here and from here to here? That is what more data is moved, and reporting also will take some time because of this, but don't worry about it. Why? Because Fabric has made everything for you. This Power BI also is there in the Fabric itself. You don't need to go anywhere separately. Power BI is also in the Fabric only. Separately, you don't need any more Power BI. Power BI is there in the Fabric. This Power BI service is also there in the Fabric. Don't go anywhere. Just stay in the Fabric, do everything for you. That is the fast reporting. This again same, less data movement. You no need to move separately for a lot of tools. See, your tools again separate. These are one, this is two, this is three. Three different things you are using earlier. Don't need. Just one single place you do everything. That is the Fabric. These many advantages are there for the Fabric. Okay, I'm removing everything. I gave you the explanation for each of the advantage as per my best. So the same things you can even assume for the reasons for the strong future of Fabric. Fabric is now is just in the initial days. In the future, a lot of things are still getting added into this. Future is there a strong for Fabric. The reason is no other cloud platforms are providing this type of service. No Amazon Web Services is doing it. Even your Google Cloud platform is also not doing this. Alone Fabric has started this. This is going to be a revolution in the data engineering and data analysis in the coming years. A lot of advantages will be still increasing in this. No more data engineering of Azure separately will be present. Going forward, as of now, you have Azure data engineering, but going forward, it would be completely Fabric data engineering will be there. No more Azure data engineering separately. It will, I'm not sure how many years it will take, but the future is there for this because Microsoft has launched a new tool. Means definitely they will have in their mind why they want to maintain the all other things separately. They will stop that in the coming years. I'm not sure whether it might take 5 years or 4 years, but it will happen for sure. By that time, if you have the good experience, you will be the person who will be charged very high. You will get a lot of, let me say, experience in that. You'll be getting a lot of packages at that time. Because at that time, after 4 5 years, people will start learning. Okay, now Fabric is there everywhere. I need to learn. That means they will become a fresher at that time. But you will have almost these 3 4 years of experience that will give extra preference for you. That is the main reason. Whenever a skill is going to get lot more importance in the future, you need to learn at the beginning stages only to gain the much benefits of it. Okay, so that is the one of a reason behind you need to learn the Fabric very in the early stages. So there are main reasons, and one more important thing we call it as a Delta Lake. Delta Lake is also involved in this Fabric. A simple one important reason I'll tell you for a Delta Lake so that you'll understand the important features of it. So what is a reason, or what is this Delta Lake? We also call it as Delta Parquet format. So remember one thing. Suppose you have some data, guys. Okay, there is some employees data. I will take some employee ID, the name of an employee, the department in which the employee is working, and the salary. So consider this employee is 101. Consider the name is Vamsi, working in a department of ECE and had a salary of some 45,000. So this person salary was updated. Let's say it became 55,000. So in the data, you will be going to see in the table 55,000 only. 45,000 will not be seen anywhere. It is just having 55,000. You updated it. But later you came to know, I wanted to use this particular table with the version before of this 55,000 update. Do you know what is the previous salary of this person now? If I ask you 55,000, you return okay. This might be the latest salary. What is the previous salary of this person then? You can't able to say because you don't have it anywhere. You just updated it. But where is the previous salary? You don't know. That is updated. But your Delta Lake will cover that. Why? You know, you make some change. some event happened. What is that event? Is update. Before this update, what is the data is present? You can go to that particular version of the table. That is the time travel of Delta Lake. That is an advantage in the Fabric. Nowadays, not just in the Fabric, this Delta Lake is almost in everywhere. It is there in the Databricks also. Okay, it is there in the other Snowflake, other warehouses also. The time travel is nowadays very important feature. So that is available across, but that Delta Lake is the same in the Fabric also we are using. So what is this called as time travel? We can go back to this table before 55,000. What is the table? How it is present? I can go to that particular version. That is what we call as time travel. So these all things are there in the Fabric. So simple architecture I will show you guys. Then I will move forward to the skills and the other details. So see, this is a simple architecture of your Fabric. I hope you're all able to see on your screen the Fabric architecture. So these are all your data sources from where I just know the same process what I'm telling, I'm just representing in a diagram format. Somewhere data will be there, I'm showing. See, the maybe databases, maybe files, maybe in the cloud, maybe through the APIs, maybe the streaming data. Wherever your data is, you're going to perform ETL activities by using the data factory, Azure Data Factory ADF I told, but this is a data factory inside the Fabric we have that is going to be stored in the OneLake. OneLake in the sense the storage layer. Everything will be there. In that particular OneLake, when the data is going to be coming, you'll be going to do the transformations. That is possible through using data flows Gen 2 or else using Spark node. These are the technical skills. I will write one by one now. What are you going to teach us, sir? Data factory I will teach you. What is data flows Gen 2 I will teach you. What is this notebooks and Spark? Nothing but here programming will come. PySpark will be there, but directly I can't learn PySpark. Before that, I need Python knowledge also. Along with that, SQL knowledge also. Along with PySpark, you are also going to use the Spark SQL. These two things, if you wanted to learn, because these two are needed in the notebooks and PySpark, nothing but Databricks, guys. Alternative to Databricks is notebooks in the Fabric. You no need to use separately Databricks anymore. You are going to do that in here only. That is possible with PySpark and Spark SQL, but directly you can't learn that. So that's the reason Python and SQL will be covered for you. And once you perform the data cleaning, that data is what you'll be going to use for performing analysis. That analysis in the Fabric will be done with the help of Power BI, which is inbuilt Power BI, not separate Power BI. It is there inbuilt only. That particular data will be going to consume and will be going to do the visualizations, and that is going to be shared with the different clients. That is what we have collaboration and monitoring and manage, and we'll be going to have excellent governance. Security also you don't need to provide. I mean to say you don't need to worry about. It has given you enough options. RLS or OLS, everything, row level security, object level securities, everything is there. So this particular entire course is now divided into two parts. So let me just mention, this is even half of it I can say, because Power BI is there here. So you can see, don't worry, I have separated in between the step also. Everything here before this line is data engineering. Okay, everything you have after this line is your data analysis. So Fabric is two parts: data engineering, data analysis. Here, I know some of you might already know the Power BI. If anybody here who joined in our session today, if you say that, sir, I already know Power BI, so do I again need to learn that? It's not needed. If you already know Power BI, or if you're already a working person in the data analysis, you just need to learn data engineering. But entire course, if you want me to segregate, guys, this is 75% of the work. This is just 25% of the work in the Fabric. Okay, that is how it's segregated. This is the important part. This is what you are going to study if you are already know Power BI. But if you are a student, sir, I don't know anything about Power BI also, then you need to take both data engineering and data analysis. I hope you got some idea now. What exactly are you going to cover? Data engineering and data analysis, both you are going to do. In that, you need the data engineering and data analysis. If you already know Power BI, in this data analysis, you are going to only learn Power BI, because Microsoft Fabric has Power BI only for performing the reporting. So if you already know Power BI, then just learn data engineering. That would be sufficient. Okay, but the core skills always stays the same. Python, SQL are the core technologies. Even you want to do data engineering or data analysis, you need them. Without those, it's not possible. Okay. the advantage of this skill set are the core skills you are also going to learn. Those skills will give you opportunities anywhere in the data engineering and data analysis platform. Okay, so okay, I think I gave my points. Let me now go forward to explain about some of the other things. Okay, so we're going to see now what are the main technical skills we are going to cover. So in the part of data engineering and data analysis, both combinedly, you'll be going to understand all those terminologies of OneLake, what is Lakehouse, what is warehouse, everything. But most important things are ETL. That is going to be covered here with respect to the Azure Data Factory. That is ADF we call, but here I will write it as Data Factory. Nothing but Azure Data Factory only. And in this, we are also going to learn the Fabric notebooks. In that Fabric notebooks, we'll be going to use the Python you need. You need the SQL. You need the PySpark. You need the Spark SQL. All these things will come under that. Then you also have the data flows. You also have data flows Gen 2 we call. Okay. After this, we'll be going to learn about data warehousing. Then you'll be going to learn the things about the real-time streaming. Oh, let me read. Real-time streaming. Then you're going to also cover the Power BI. So when I'm written these things, it might be looking very small, but the entire contents in deep you can able to get it from these contents. We have the Fabric data engineering and data analysis contents. Also, whoever doesn't want the Power BI, because I already know Power BI sir means, I'll also share a separate contents that will only contain Fabric data engineering part. Okay, so you can just go through this. Everything what we are going to cover is mentioned clearly. So just please make sure this will be understood. Okay, so here along with the this one, we also have an optional subject with a form of generative AI. Nowadays, learning the generative AI concepts is like a mandatory thing for everybody. So that's the reason we also included the generative AI concepts here for the data engineering and data analysis for the Fabric. Okay. So these data engineering concepts are a optional thing. If you want, you can include that in your course. No, sir, we don't want it. I only just want that particular Fabric part means it's up to your choice. But learning generative AI will give you extra opportunities because it's a leading technology in the market. Okay. So when I say generative AI, it would be complete concepts of the generative AI, not just normal AI tools. Okay. So I'll also explain this much better in the coming next class tomorrow. So this is about the optional subject, generative AI, and you can opt for it if you're interested. Okay. Now coming to the duration, this will take 4 to 5 months of time. This will take 4 to 5 months of time to complete the entire course. And the classes will be daily from Monday to Friday, daily 1 hour. On few Saturdays, we might have the class. And the class timings, we are planning at evening time, 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. We don't have any morning batches as of now for the Fabric. And it's in the online mode. The classes will be there. But if you anybody interested for offline classes, I mean to say coming for offline practice, you can visit our institute for the practice. We have the lab sessions. Even I will be available in the morning time as well. So if you're interested, you can please visit and you can discuss about with me if any doubts, and even our support team will be there to clarify your doubts. Okay. So this is a batch timing 7:30 to 8:30, which is starting from tomorrow. Tomorrow 7:30 to 8:30, we have a second free class where we will be going to cover about some of the basic terminologies related to the Fabric. What is OneLake, what is Lakehouse, what is warehouse. Those are simple things we are going to even cover for you, which is going to be very important. Okay. So here you are going to get complete concepts from basics to advanced. Whatever the terminologies I covered, everything I will explain more briefly to you with some examples also. So everything we are going to cover from basics to advanced. You don't need to worry about it. And two end-to-end projects also will be going to cover. Okay, to end-to-end, or let me write real-time live projects. We'll be going to cover that for you, which will provide you the complete knowledge and even place these projects in your resume to apply as a experienced person. And guys, here along with this, we are going to provide you the complete whatever the writings I'm writing, that notes will be going to help you with providing. The recordings will be there. Okay, recordings will be provided on the day-to-day basis, and view access will be there for the recordings. And along with this, we'll be going to share you the tasks for you to practice. The assignments will be there. And along with that, we can provide you the placement assistance, guys. Until you get the job, the placement assistance will be there. When I say placement assistance, it will include the resume building. It will include the important interview questions. Okay, important interview questions. And also, we'll be going to help you with the mock interviews. These all things will be there in the placement assistance until the student gets placed. These opportunities, sharing the profiles with the students, everything would be same to same. We are not going to stop in between until the student gets the job. Opportunities will be shared with the every student, and complete support would be there. Okay, and along with that, guys, here we are also going to help you with the Microsoft Azure certifications, which is very important. For the Fabric, we have a separate certifications available. So we have DP 600, DP 700. I'll inform you about that. I'll guide you about those certifications as well. Some important questions, how to practice those, everything's in the Microsoft Azure certifications. You can also get that support. In this course, you are also going to get the course completion certificate. Okay, course completion certificate would be provided for you all once the course is completed. Okay, and also regarding the duration, I have explained everything. So regarding the access also, guys, you don't need to worry. Actually, Fabric is not a free software. You can get a free trial, but that will need you to provide a lot of information. But for us in this course, we are only going to provide you the access to Fabric. Okay, you can practice it without paying any extra amounts for that. So Fabric access is free of cost. We are only going to provide you that access. You don't need to worry about the subscriptions. We will handle that. So this is how the entire course structure and everything related to the Fabric course. So I think I covered everything with respect to the class is concerned and introduction. But more than introduction only, I have explained you some of the things. So we will start the batch from tomorrow, 7:30 to 8:30. We are starting that. So please do join and you can learn much better. Later, you can think about the registrations because I am providing you more than introduction knowledge in these classes. That will help you a lot in understanding the upcoming concepts. When you know the complete architecture, learning whole subject becomes simple. So that is my aim for you to provide you that knowledge. So this is up to here for today. I'm going to stop up to the recording here. So I will give you the time now. You can ask me the questions.